during a job interview,
Mm-hmm.
or, I've seen several employees,
Not get hired because they're getting a phone call between an
Well,
interview. It's
the
like,
manager
should've kept that
would- yeah.
in your car.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so rude.
Well, I mean, even not just the texting, but the technology that's about certain things being good for college students. What about on the high school level?
Mhm.
Well, here, this even goes a step further. It's why I like, this is an elementary school teacher. And a lot of these are talking about how kids like the immediate results, how it's not a result you can get anywhere else except on the computer. And this one here is about, the teacher says, that kids that don't necessarily star can become the stars with technology. Her favorite piece is a boy who had major problems at home. He figured out a way to make music by getting the computer to play certain letters by certain powers, and it changed the musical tone of the note, and he actually wrote a piece. He said then he asked if he could put his HyperCard stack on my computer because it was hooked up to speakers. And she said sure, and at recess he put in the computer and played his music and literally stopped the room. Said that for months he had kids begging him at recess, every recess, to teach them how to make music. And for that particular kid, it was the world, because he really was not successful academically and was having lots of problems. This really changed him for that school year. And that was just when nothing else could really get through technology, the use. And this is on the elementary school level.
That's
Yeah.
attention.
So,
that's what, that's what
starting-
teenagers need.
Starting
But with
at that level and showing the proper way to use them can probably, hopefully, make it to where they don't have as many. They're more motivated to use it in a positive way and have more respect for others as far as having them as distractions, I would think. I like
It all,
that.
it all
I like
depends on the
that,
nature
yeah.
and nurture too, like how
Yeah.
you're brought up and what family you belong to and stuff like that. It's all about attention with teenagers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't give them attention at home, they're gonna look at a social life or something like that.
But there needs to be boundaries with it too, or it causes, isolation, or,
Limits and stuff like that too.
yeah, I mean, it pulls them away from who they really are, it pulls them away from reality, it puts them into a cyber life, and, they're inactive, their grades fall.
Actually, I think that's more not technology, but like you said, nature and nurture, that's the parent. If you just give a kid a cell phone and say, here, don't go over your minutes, I mean, it's like handing them a loaded gun, to do with what they want. You need to monitor it. They have the cell phones where you can monitor their amount of usage, and you should have
Stop it.
passwords.
Yeah.
I think a parent should have passwords to their kids' phones. There's no reason why a teenage person should have their photos locked where I can't see them and I'm their parent.
Yeah.
And to where you can monitor, go online to their account and monitor and see what are you writing, what are you texting. And I don't think it's totally invasive. I mean, if you have a trustworthy child that performs well and whatnot, but if you, every time you see them, they're on the phone, okay, put the cell phone down, spend some time with your family.
Exactly.
But if you allow it for them to go in the room, get a phone from school and close the door, and the next time you see him is dinner, and the next time you see him is right before it's time to go to bed, that's on you.
If you get to see that.
Yeah, if you see
It's
that.
not even just cell phones, it's Facebook. and
Yeah,
all that.
Facebook.
Yeah. And in English class, we had to write a school paper about technology, and one girl said that like 80% of kids surveyed, their parents didn't even know they had a Facebook account, and they're 14, 15 years old. And I'm thinking 14 or 15.
And
You
again,
shouldn't
back to
have-
what Cedric said, you should have,
You're talking
parents
about-
should be able to
Yeah,
Talking
as
about
parents,
face-
you should know.
Talking about Facebook on a computer or a cell phone, they come up with a TV that you can do apps on. You can do your Facebook right on your TV.
Yeah, they already have the internet
Yeah.
TVs.
Yeah, the
Internet
Samsung.
TV.
Yeah.
Samsung just
Internet
runs the TV. You can do
TV.
apps on it. You can do all those games that
Yeah.
in
we're
the
getting
phone
one in
tab.
here. Internet TV.
But
There are
yeah,
apps right there on
Right on
the
TV.
Yep, they had a special last week, last month. 50-inch Samsung Internet TV and Blu-ray disc player for $99.99.
Wow.
$1,000
that
for the
is cheap.
Blu-ray and the 50-inch Internet TV.
That is cheap.
Yes.
Well,
It's an LED, I think too.
like you were saying, I mean, even those TVs now, you can get on the internet.
Never mind.
You're
Talking about prices here.
becoming so obsessive about it. Like you were saying before about kids online, and they spend so much time online, and it's like they begin to get in this fake world, and they have this alternate personality even that's not themselves. They become something else when they're online. Like that Brad Paisley song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, even when I was in high school, we would have researches and stuff like that. I mean, yes, you focus 5 minutes on the research topic. After that, you're doing stuff that is not relevant. Okay, and then after 2, 3, 4 hours spending on time on the internet, it's like, okay, what did I actually get accomplished? Maybe 5 minutes of work. I mean, what the heck did I do for 4 hours on there? You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like you get carried away so easily. You
Yeah,
just,
well,
you-
one thing leads to another.
Yeah,
You know,
it just-
you
I
check
mean-
your email, next thing you know, you're checking this and you're looking at this and, you know, but old people, elderly people, I should say. Elderly people are starting to, go onto Facebook every day, and there is, I heard the statistic is 250,000, new members onto Facebook every day.
Well, and what do you know what the average is on people that are on Facebook? What's the average age?
Would be in their 20s, I would think.
Well, no,
Probably
the
older.
elderly are,
It's
because,
between 38 and 46. That's the
Yeah.
average
Age?
and it can go up to
People
80
that are on
too, I know my grandma's doing
There's
it, but.
more over 30 plus people on there than it is teenagers.
They're all playing Farmville.
How many I get from farm?
But if you think about it,
Yeah.
that's,
That is insane.
now that's the cheapest and best way to keep in touch with your family,
Mhm.
Oh,
is
it
through
is.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Pictures, everything like that, my grandma joined because of that. Now, we had to give her a one-on-one on it, but, you know, and you talk about the ones that are like 60 and up, you know, they're back in the day when there was absolutely no technology even close to that, you know, so.
And going back to the classroom point, like you were saying earlier, you get caught up when you're online doing stuff. It's the same thing when you're in class and you're like, oh, well, let me just check this real quick, what the teacher said. And then you get caught up, no, let me check my Facebook. And before you know it, you're not paying attention, you missed
You carried away to
important information. And a point about listening, our book, which is In Mixed Company, 7th edition, says, quote unquote, despite the obvious importance of listening well in groups, evidence shows that for the most part we don't listen very well. One report cited in Alder and Town 2007 discovered that only 12% of college students were actually listening to a class lecture, and another 20% were mildly attentive. The remaining students were pursuing erotic thoughts, which was 20%.
They're all male.
No, if you think about it, there's more women there.
Then it
Time to
says
edit.
reminiscing, 20%, or worrying, daydreaming, or thinking about lunch or religion, 8%. So right there, you have 12% of the entire,
Class is
basically
actually
1 out of
Paying
10,
attention.
1 out of 10 students.
I
is
think
paying
we